Hello everyone, Ryan Reed here from Dice Up the Classroom. Well, I promised everybody for iPad Palooza that I would do something special with a digital balloon release party. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, many of you remember a balloon release party used to be when you, of course, would release balloons from your school and, they'd have a message or an email or something attached to it. And what would happen was, people would write back, email and everything. Well, that's kind of gone on the wayside now because of, pollution laws, security, and a few other ones. But the idea is still very sound, and it's actually a great way to do a digital one. And how I'm going to do is show you how to do a digital one. So the first one I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually show you by using Padlet. Padlet actually is universal. It works on iPads, Chromebooks, Macs, and everything. And what's so great about it is that, of course, you don't have to worry about a login. So what happens is I went over to my Padlet. I logged in through my Google account, as you'll see when it pops up here in a second. And what happens is I've created what's called the digital release here. And what's so great about my iPad here is, of course, I can move this over if I want to. So you can see it and works in real time. But basically what it says is I am doing a classroom digital balloon release to see where our tweet goes to respond to your state or country, but no names are needed. Basically, because now we have days of classrooms with Twitter, and we have ones for Remind and a few other ones. So what happens is I've gone on Padlet. I've created a Padlet board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and copy the URL, copy it, and once that's finished, I'm actually going to go over to goo.gl URL shortener. I'm going to let that load up. And what I do is, I love doing this, is what happens is I can now paste the URL of my Padlet board, because like I said, it does not require a login. I'm going to hit shorten URL. It's going to show me a little preview there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down and copy it. But now what happens is I'm going to go to where it says details. I'm going to click on my iPad on the details. It's going to take a second to load. And what happens is if you look now, there's a QR code. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, save it to my camera roll. And now that I've done that, I'm going to go out of my Safari and Padlet, and I'm going to go to Pic Collage on my iPad. Now, Pic Collage is a fantastic app. It allows you to do pictures and all that and posters and and it's all for free. What happens is I'm going to go to Pic Collage, and I'm actually going to make a digital poster here. So once I get past my little party for the photos, give it a second to load. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm using Reflector on my MacBook. It allows it to turn my MacBook into a mirroring program without being tethered down. And what happens is I've gone and created a little digital school portfolio is what I've done here. And what happens, as you can see, is I can use the social networks from Twitter, Google+, or Remind, and it says Digital School Balloon Release. Please click on the link or scan the QR code to go to our Padlet board. Please click or tap on the screen to create a new post, and please post your state and country only, because we're trying to see where we're doing it. So as you can see, I have not added in my QR code. So what happens is I'm going to here and hit the plus button. It's going to ask me for photos. I'm going to click on my photos. And there's my QR code. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to reposition it. And I have it saved. Pretty cool, huh? So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the share row, which is on the bottom right of my iPad. I'm going to click on that, save this poster, and it will automatically save to my library. I'm waiting for it to save. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to tweet this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, close out of here. I'm going to go into Twitter, log into Twitter, and much like a digital balloon release, what happens is if I'm releasing blues, I'm basically going to do this. Now, the truth is you don't need to do this on an iPad too. You can do this on a Chromebook or a PC or a tablet or anything, because that's what's so great about Padlet, is it allows you to do that. So here's what I'm going to do. So instead of a digital balloon release of the wind in that, I'm going to make a brand new tweet. I'm going to attach a picture to it. I'll just show you on my iPad, make it a little easier. So I'm going to click on my button. I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to do my password. And now I'm going to put in a hashtag, because I'm going to see how fast this works here. And that's what I'm going to do here. This is Twitter is what I'm doing. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember that password. I'm going to post this. Now I've got the image, I've got the URL shortener, and I've got the QR code for the Padlet board. So now I'm going to send out this tweet just like I would be doing a regular balloon release. And it's going to go out. So it's getting ready. It's being sent out now, the tweet. I'm making sure it goes out. It did go out. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go to our Padlet board and we're going to see just how quickly anybody posts on here. Because I've posted the tweet and I'm basically going to see how long it's going to take for the balloon to release and see how this works. So where is everybody from who's watching this right now? Now this is what's interesting when you do it through a social network like Twitter or Google Plus or Periscope or Remind is on your followers and sign up. So here's I tweeted out to over 4,600 followers and I'm seeing who's going to respond with this for the digital balloon release. By the way, this will be on YouTube later if anybody wants to try it. But what's so great about this is you can do all this. You can get the Padlet and get the different locations, and what you can do later on is after you start getting your locations, you go back into Google Earth and you can geotag where the people sign up. So let's say somebody says, oh, they are in Australia. Once this loads. And what you can do is when you see this area, of course, you can go over and geotag where the area, what are some locations here for students. They can actually see what are some areas by them in the country they are in or the city or state and everything. They can do a little report here for geotagging, which they can use for geography lessons or something else using Google Earth. But it's very interesting to set up the social networking to do it this way, because it's similar to the balloon release of old, where you used to let the balloons fly out and see where they land, and if somebody got them, they would actually put them together. So I know somebody here said they were from England, so let's go to the UK. That load. There you go, I'm in Cambridge. We just had one person ask, but here we go, some of the sites that they can do and everything else with this digital balloon release. This is a kind of cool way to teach students kind of a modern way of how they can use a digital balloon release and use it for school for geography, mystery Skype, and other ways. So it's really fun. This is all straight iPad related. It can also be PC, desktop, or Google Apps for education. So thanks everybody for watching, and have a great day.